everyone, we're here, we're back, and today I'm going to be doing another court case react. Since you guys have been enjoying them, I enjoy them, and that's usually all it takes to make a video is enjoyment. So I'm going to give you guys a little bit of context for this case that we're about to watch. The plaintiff is suing his ex-girlfriend for stuff that she either threw out or sold or something like that after they broke up because he got back together with his wife. Not ex-wife, his wife. He was not separated legally from her. They were just taking a break. So it sounds messy. It sounds complicated. I'm excited. I'm sure no one will get yelled at. Let's get started.
On the matter of Torres versus Cimino.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Judge. Parties have been sworn in, Your Honor. You may be seated. Folks, have a seat, please.
Mr. Torres, you moved in with the defendant and her children while you were separated from your wife. I assume this is your wife, sir, is that right?
Yes.
And it is your claim that when you decided to return to your wife and reconcile with your family, the defendant kept and/or destroyed some property that belongs to you. The defendant says you had ample opportunity to get what you wanted. Whatever you didn't take with you, she got rid of. She is counterclaiming because she says that because of your broken promises, she lost wages. She's going to explain that to me.
I mean, that
when
makes
did you and your
sense, because my guess is he had promised her, like, oh, I'm not going to ever go back to my wife. Like, I'm going to get divorced and I'll be with you forever. I don't know. When you know that someone is still, I mean, I guess, like, divorces, you know, everyone's different. All things are different. But I don't know. I don't think I personally would feel comfortable getting in a relationship with someone if they were not legally separated or have not even started the paperwork to legally separate from their wife. That would just be me.
separate, sir?
March of 2006.
And when did you move in with the defendant?
April, can't recall it.
June 4th.
June 4th?
And when did you meet
He
her?
said April. You couldn't remember if you started dating her a month after, but it was really like 3 months after. This guy's a keeper.
I met her through my boss, which is her brother.
When?
In May.
Where had you been living between March and May?
My mother's house.
So you met her in May and you moved in with her in June?
June.
First mistake. Where did you move in with her, sir?
And where she used to live in Falmouth.
Falmouth?
Yes.
In a house or an apartment?
An apartment.
How old are your children?
I have a 5-year-old and an 18-month-old.
Where's their father? Don't know.
Gone. Yeah,
Gone.
don't know.
Were you working?
Yes.
Who were you working for at the time?
Stop and Shop and Dunkin' Donuts.
Who was taking care of the children when you worked?
They were in daycare full-time.
Was that subsidized
So
daycare?
she's
Yeah.
really trying. She's, you know, boyfriend, whatever, just bailed, and she's working 2 jobs, has, you know, daycare to take care of her kids. So she's really trying. I'm sure when this guy came into her life, she was like, oh, good, now I have some help, which is probably also what he promised, more than likely.
So you move in,
Yes.
and then what happened, Mr. Torres?
Everything was getting fine. I was missing my kids a lot.
You have to speak slowly, Mr. Torres, because I'm going to try to follow you.
Okay.
Everything was going fine. You were missing your kids a lot, is what I got. Now you're going to try to speak a little slower and keep your voice up so
People
I can hear you.
always mumble, and I think just certain people like mumble. And when I worked at the grocery store, oh my God, it drove me crazy when people would come up and I'm like, "Hi, how are you?" And they're like, and I'm like, "Excuse me?" They're like, and I'm like, "Enunciate, speak up, and make it clear to where I can hear you." Like, enunciate. And I know it's hard for some people, and I know I, like, stumble over my words because I speak so fast, but, like, I at least, like, can project my voice. I'll at least take that, at least, like, speak up. I can maybe, like, you know, get through the mumbles if you at least speak up.
See how I'm speaking and projecting? You don't have any trouble hearing me, right?
No, I don't, Your Honor.
Good. Go ahead. Everything was going fine. You were missing your children, and
I spoke with her that I would like to get closer to my kids. And she agreed to move closer so I could be near my kids after work.
so you said, I want to be closer to my kids. I miss them. Would you move?
No, I didn't explain just like that. I asked her if...
I'm just saying, what Judge Judy said was basically what he said, is like, I'd like to be close to my kids. Do you think we could move closer to them? It was a question. I think that was, he's like, the way that you worded it sounds like bad on me. Can't have that.
I didn't force her to.
Nobody said you forced her, but you said, I want to be closer to my kids. I want to move with you and your kids.
Yes,
So she moved.
we did.
How far away from where she was living did she move?
I don't know.
I'm
the
wondering
exact
how
knowledge.
soon after she got with him. So it was like they knew each other in May. He moved in June, and I'm curious as to like how soon after they were together that they moved. I'm sure they'll explain it, but it's like, is it like a month? Like you've known this guy for 2 months, and you're gonna move, however far away. I know some people are just like, they see potential. I'm sure he promised her the world, and she probably just like was so happy to have like somebody else there to help her take care of her kids and, just a partner in life. But I don't know, a couple months, that's not worth it to me to up and change everything, especially like my kids. Like if they're, they're used to a routine, they're used to the area, and then you're just gonna move with this guy who you've known for a couple months. Not smart.
Time, 15 minutes, 20 minutes,
no.
a half hour.
About an hour.
An hour.
45 to an hour.
So her children also were taken out of daycare.
Yes.
And she didn't have her jobs anymore.
She had transferred.
What do you mean she transferred? What does
She
that
transferred her first job that she first had in Dunkin' Donuts. She couldn't get transferred. And then she transferred her kids' daycare vouchers over to a new one in town.
mean? So she relocated her whole family
So she
because
was
of you.
able to transfer one of her jobs, but one of them wouldn't transfer her. So she lost one of her jobs, and she is having to, again, put her kids in this new daycare. And I'm sure they had, like, they knew all the daycare workers at the other one. They were comfortable there. Just, I don't know. I don't like, I know for some people you have no choice, but it's like she had a choice in this. She could have just said, nope, get out.
And when did she do that?
We moved in December 1st.
12/106. So between June and December, you and the defendant lived together.
Yes.
Okay. So for
And in
6
December-
months they lived together, and then he wanted to move. That's better than a couple months, but I still don't like it.
Relocated this family to be closer to your children.
Yes.
And then what happened, Mr. Torres?
I received a Christmas postcard from my wife and kids. She takes my picture with my kids on it and my wife, and cuts my wife's face off and posts it on the fridge. And from there, everything went downhill.
So he expected his current girlfriend to be okay with his current wife sending them a postcard and, as them as like the happy family when she has been living with him for 6 months, he's a part of their family. That she knew what she was doing. The wife knew what she was doing. Because my guess is if he ends up leaving the girlfriend to go back to his wife, when he went to go visit his kids, which I'm sure he was still doing, he also was visiting his wife and probably doing things with her, which is not illegal, but cheating. But not. All of it's cheating, all of it's wrong, all of it's just weird.
When did you move out?
I moved out before Christmas. It was like December 2006.
So she lived in this new location close to your children for 3 weeks with you.
Yes.
Wow. So they were together for 6 months. Everything seemed fine. He missed his kids or his wife. We'll say it's his kids. He moves out closer, has her move with him, and then leaves three weeks later after she's up and changed everything in her life and her kid's life. Dude, I throw away his stuff too. Like, screw you.
So what are you suing for, Mr. Torres?
Just all my personal property.
Like what?
So Nintendo GameCube.
A Nintendo GameCube? Okay, hold on. I understand why he's suing. I would sue for my Nintendo GameCube also. I loved my GameCube growing up. Oh my god, like, that is arguably, in my opinion, the best console that there ever has been. That's my opinion. I loved my GameCube. I loved playing Paper Mario Thousand Year Door. Is hands down the best video game in all of history. I don't care what you have to say. Mario Sunshine. amazing. Any of the Mario parties, no matter what. Well, I don't like the current Mario parties, but the Mario parties, really good. I know I'm forgetting so many games, but Paper Mario, Thousand Year Door, that's all you need in life. Best game.
Equipment, clothing, hats, bed.
And how much is all that stuff worth, sir?
Close to $2,000.
How much was the rent on the
Close to
apartment?
$2,000?
It's 1030. I actually had subsidized housing, so it was 170.
So he was getting the advantage of subsidized housing. They didn't know he was living there, right?
No,
Because if they knew he was living there,
I would lose
it would have been $1,000
Yes.
a month, right?
Yes.
Between June and December.
Yes.
Now, what happened with your second job?
They cut my pay and they cut my hours, and I had no idea when I was being transferred, because if I knew that, I wouldn't have transferred my job.
Yes, you would have.
Well,
Yeah, she was gonna move with him, I believe, no matter what, because she loved him. I'm gonna assume that, but again, I think she was so blinded by love or blinded by just, I don't know, maybe the things he was promising, but it's like, dude, he still has a wife. Like, he hasn't divorced her, and I'm sure he's saying, I'm gonna do it. Then do it. Start it. Do it.
What, sir?
Excuse me. The reason that she stopped working for Stop and Shop is because of pay related. They did not drop her hours. She had the same hours, but it was a lot of money that she was missing up a week of her check.
So she was working the same amount as before, but they cut her pay in half? Yeah, I'd be upset too. I'd be like, that's not fair. I mean, I guess like when you transfer, things work out differently, but you also take that risk when you transfer and change your life. And I'm sure she didn't ask. She just probably made an assumption, which a lot of people do. But I'd be upset too. I'd be like, I'm working the same amount and getting half the pay. Nah.
And that's the reason she quit.
So?
So she did not lose her job because of me.
She did.
Okay.
She did.
Can I call my wife up here?
No, I don't need your wife. You were a big boy enough to leave your wife. You were a big boy enough to have this lady with her 2 children relocate closer to your children so you could be more comfortable, so you didn't have to travel. So she relocated herself.
Oh, yeah. So it's like, you're the one who decided to get in a relationship with someone who lives an hour away. You're the one who, like, clearly you and your wife had a fight. You can, yeah, make yourself uncomfortable to go see your kids. But instead, you were selfish and you wanted her to change up her entire life, who you have only known for 6 months. Oh, I don't like this guy. Ew. Yeah, ew. I mean, she's not smart either. But ew. Him. Ew.
Her 2 children, took them out of daycare where they were comfortable, where she had 2 jobs. All, nobody's asking you a question.
Okay. Why are you speaking? What do you have to say? Why are you here? You're just here, I guess, to defend him against his ex, but it's like, what are you doing? You have no say in any of this.
You knew that he was living with her, right? You knew he was living with her, right?
Not in the beginning, no, I didn't. But she also knew that we had problems previously, and we've always worked our problems out.
Listen,
she knew she was
Miss
getting
Torres.
involved.
She's one of those people that she's going to blame the girlfriend instead of her husband. It is his fault. It is not her fault at all. It is his fault for getting in a relationship with her, having a woman on the side, which she apparently knew about it, and being like, well, she knew we had problems and we'd probably get back together. Like, why would you get back together with him when you know he has a girlfriend? He's like trying to, like, oh my god. Like, I don't know. I just have this thing of like a lot of people, like, you know, when someone cheats in a relationship, they always blame the person that they cheated on them with instead of like the boyfriend, the girlfriend, the husband, the wife, the whatever. They always blame them because they don't want to blame the person that they love, even though it's 100% their fault and you should be mad at them.
Would have
Miss
married
Torres,
man.
listen to me. Shh. I got what happened.
You're not, the story's not straight.
Miss Torres,
I'm sorry.
when you wake up in the morning for 8 months and you don't find your husband sleeping next to you in the bed, that's not a fight. That's not a disagreement. That's a separation. And while I think it's dumb on the part of any woman to get involved with a guy who's just separated from his family, and dumber to relocate and uproot her children and her life, there's no question in my mind.
So it's dumb, dumb, and dumber. Huh.
You sent a Christmas card with your picture in it in order to irritate them a little bit. That doesn't say you're not
sorry,
entitled to
Your
do it. Don't speak. Don't speak. And I want to tell you something. I wouldn't have put up her picture on my refrigerator either if I were her. Put your hand down, smarty pants. So far, you caused a lot of trouble, Mr. Torres. You don't ask somebody to relocate their life and turn their life upside down unless you are 100% sure that you're prepared to make a commitment.
I was committed.
Excuse me?
Everything got a lot stressful when we moved in to Taunton from Falmouth.
You told me things got stressful when your wife sent you a Christmas picture with herself in it. And she cut the picture out, which is exactly what I would have done.
Prior to that...
Exactly what most women would have done. Cut out the picture of your wife.
Excuse me, Your Honor.
Put your hand down.
Why are you speaking? Stop talking. You're going to make it so much worse. Whatever you have to say, you will make it worse.
And don't speak.
Prior to that, Your Honor, we were having the problems with her jobs. She was getting a little bit of stressful.
Was she stressful between June and December with her job?
No, she wasn't.
Because everything was nice. She had 2 jobs. She had daycare.
So they move. He makes them move. Well, can't really make someone move, but he suggested they move. She agreed. She lost one of her jobs and had her pay cut from the other job. Is clearly stressed about that, and he's bothered by the fact that she's stressed about that. So then goes back to his wife. God, what a great human he is.
And she relocated, and then she had stress. It was your fault. You get where I'm going, Mr. Torres.
No, I don't.
Well, and I'm sorry. I'm sorry for you. I'm sorry for your wife. I'm sorry for your children. You should get where I'm going. Bird gets where I'm going. The 50 or some odd people out here get where I'm going, sir. And if you don't get where I'm going, there's something missing up here. Now, what happened to his property?
I called him from my sister's December 23rd, and I said, you need to come meet me if you want your belongings. He said, I don't want them. You can throw them away. You can burn them. I don't care what you do with it. So I got rid of all his clothes, his hats, because what do I want with it?
When did you get rid of it?
Most of the stuff was on that day. I got rid of it.
Okay, because you were pretty angry.
Yes.
So whether he told you to get rid of the stuff or he didn't tell you to get rid of the stuff, you would have gotten rid of the stuff anyway.
Exactly.
Right.
Yes.
Okay. Now tell me about it when he left. Tell me about what happened when he just walked out of the house without his clothes or anything else.
He was a mess. He came back from work and he was drunk. And he'd tell me, going home to my wife and going back to my kids. And I told him continuously, I said, Jose, I'm not going to move unless, you know what I mean, you're going to be with me and stay with me. I'm not going to move to Taunton if you're going to go back with your wife. And that's what happened. He up and left.
It's a very stupid thing to do. And what happened to his entertainment center?
I have his speakers, and I asked him if he wanted them, and he said no.
Put your hand down. You know how much sympathy I have for you? That much. 0. Less than 0, if that's possible. You have his bed?
Yeah, what happened was when we went to Falmouth, I got rid of my bed, and he brought his bed.
So you got rid of your bed
Yes,
and
I
took
did.
his bed. He doesn't get the bed back. What else?
Yes. There's the Nintendo GameCube, which my son plays with. I mean,
Okay, it's being used. Good. I hope that the son appreciates, and I really hope he has played Paper Mario 1000 Year Door. That's all that I wish I could learn from this case.
But
What?
I got a list if you want to see it.
I don't care to see your list.
Okay.
She threw away a lot of stuff when you left, which is probably what I would have done if you left. You left, you're not there, you didn't take your stuff, goodbye. Stuff goes in the garbage.
Leave, Your Honor.
But she has your speakers. What else do you have of his?
I have his VCR, if you'd like that.
Okay, good.
And his digital camera.
Okay, I want you to box those things and get them out of your house.
Okay.
Within 5 days, he's going to pay the cost of putting it in UPS or the post office or whatever.
Okay.
Excuse me.
Yes.
Speak. Because he did not get the story out the right way. He's very nervous. He doesn't know exactly what to say. He was buying back his own property. She did not offer to give it back to him.
I don't care whether she offered to give it back to
He
him or
offered
not.
to give her money. She checked off that he could get his own property with police
Good.
escorts.
And
We
I went
went,
there.
and she
Good.
said she threw it away.
Good. You said it now? You happy?
No, there's a lot more to it.
I'm not
And-
interested in a lot more. I got the general gist of it. Your husband?
You didn't
Your
because
husband?
he didn't explain it right.
Don't speak. Your husband left you, not because of her, because he didn't
I
meet her for a
actually leave. I
while.
just got separated from her to take a part of time from each other.
She kicked him out.
Just a second. Then if you need time, Mr. Torres, to decide what you're going to do, is that what you're telling me? Is that what you're telling me? You needed time to figure out what you were going to do?
No, we just need time from away from each other.
Then you don't move in with somebody else and dislocate them from a life. Do you understand that? Do you understand
I
that?
understand that, but I didn't do that.
Yes, you did.
is this guy stupid? That's exactly what he did. If him and his wife just needed space, that's why he went to go live with his mom. I think that was fair. They just needed time apart from each other. Sometimes couples need that when you spend so much time with the same person. You just need some space. But instead, he gets into another relationship. And he thinks there's nothing wrong with that. And apparently neither does his wife. Or the girlfriend. They're all dumb. But he is clearly really stupid.
Yes, you did. You moved in with somebody else. If you want to take time away from your wife and see if the relationship can be put back together again, you do not move in with somebody else just because it's comfy. Do you understand? That's
Yes,
what
I
you
do,
did.
but I didn't do that exactly like that.
Get mad. Speak up.
Huh?
Mr. Torres,
Speak up.
your wife may not want to acknowledge it, but that is precisely what you did. She did not handcuff you and tie you to her bed. From June of 2006 until December of 2006, you shared the defendant's bed, you shared her life, you convinced her to move and relocate to be closer to
did
your
not convince
children.
her.
That's what you just told me, sir.
No, I
you
did not
told
convince
me
her. We
that you
agreed
wanted
on it.
her to move closer.
Oh my god.
I did not.
You can, yeah, fine, you both agreed on it, but it was your suggestion to do it. You probably did tell her, like, I won't get back together with my wife, I just really want to be near my kids, like, this, please, like, you know, see if you can change jobs, like, I'm working, you know, we can make up for the difference in income, like, he probably promised her so much, and just because, like, he's trying to not take the blame for it, he's like, well, she agreed, it's not my fault, like, dude, shut up.
Force her to do it.
Listen, those are the things that you're getting back. Period. End of discussion. Let me explain something to you. You don't get awarded money for stupidity. You don't pick up your life and relocate for a married guy. And if you do so on a promise and a prayer, courts aren't here to help you. You have to understand that. His wife doesn't get it because she prefers not to get it. He didn't go and move into a room in somebody's house while they were trying to work out their problems. He found it more comfortable to be in your house, living with you. And she thinks that's your fault. That's not your fault. She's angry at the wrong person. She should be angry at him.
Absolutely.
Because it was his choice to move in with you, and it was his choice to move into another apartment.
What, did she steal him? She, like, voodoo mind trick him to make him come and live with her? Like, really? Like, they were calling each other boyfriend, girlfriend. He was promising her all this stuff. Like, he was sleeping in the same bed as her. Like, it wasn't just like, it's a buddy that he's sleeping with. Like, this was a person where they started a relationship, and if she is so blinded and dumb that she can't see that, then maybe the two of them are meant to be together, because they're so stupid together that I guess it doesn't work, but I guarantee you they're not together today, but like, God, they're dumb.
With you, it was his choice. He was more comfortable living that way while he was figuring out what to do with his marriage. So her anger is misplaced, and I don't want to hear about it. So you get your property back. The stuff that you just mentioned, sir. Other than that, you get nothing. I'm dismissing her counterclaim because, unfortunately, the law doesn't permit her to have a counterclaim for her own acts of misguided love and affection and your promises that you were going to be with her. Law doesn't permit
I ain't
that.
made any promises.
Get out of here.
Alright, and that's going to be at the end of that. I watched the, like, you know, at the end where they have them talk. Instead of the plaintiff, like, instead of him talking, his wife spoke, and she's like, she should have known not to get with a married man. We've been together for 13 years. Like, we have our ups and downs. It's like, 13 years? And again, she's blaming her. Like, well, it's her fault for getting involved with a married man. Like, that's not his fault. How, again, dumb do you have to be? How blinded do you have to be? 13 years, like, because that's the thing, like, can she just go off and get a boyfriend and be gone for, you know, a year and he'd be fine with that? Has he done this before? He's probably done this before. He probably has done it in the future after this. Maybe they are still together. Those poor kids. Alright guys, that's the end of this video. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. And if you really, really liked it, please subscribe. Let's talk all things this ridiculous case in the comments below. And until my next video, I will see you guys then. Bye!